All right, I just found something I have to show you. This is DeepSeek R1, and the AI world just got completely shaken up by it. Now, as a principal software engineer, I've seen a lot of tech breakthroughs, but this one's different. It's doing what the tech giants do, but at a fraction of the cost. Now, you might think this is just another AI model announcement, but here's the wild thing. DeepSeek just built this thing for just $5 million. That is less than 1% of the companies like OpenAI typically spend, and it's matching or beating their performance. We're talking about a model that's going toe-to-toe with the $200 OpenAI model, built for what these companies probably spend on office snacks. Let me break this down from an engineering perspective. DeepSeek R1 is an open source AI model that's fundamentally changing how we think about AI development. When I say it's open source, I mean anyone can look under the hood, examine the code, and understand how it works. This transparency is huge for the developer community. At its core, this model is 671 billion parameters, and yes, that is billion with a B. But the real story isn't the size, it's how they're using these parameters. They've implemented something called chain of thought reasoning, which is fascinating from an engineering standpoint. Think of it like pair programming with an expert developer. Not only does it solve problems, but it walks you through the entire thinking process. That means you can see how it arrives at solutions, catch potential issues early, and understand the decision-making process. Now here's where the engineering gets really interesting. Through a process called knowledge distillation, they've managed to create smaller versions that can run on regular hardware. Let's see why this is revolutionary. Typically, when you want to run a model this sophisticated, you need a data center's worth of computing power. But here's the clever part. They found a way to compress this knowledge into smaller running models that can run on more modest setups. It's like they've taken the expertise of 1,000 engineers and somehow packed them into a program that can run on your development machine. This isn't about making the model smaller though, it's about making them smarter. They've used reinforcement learning to help the model learn independently, similar to how a junior developer learns from a senior developer. I've spent some extensive time playing with this model, and it just blows me away. First, it's its coding abilities. I've seen this thing create and complete games from scratch, including proper game logic and collision detection, debug complex systems while explaining its thought process, and then optimize existing code with detailed performance considerations. But what is really impressive is its problem-solving approach. When it's faced with a complex task, it breaks it down systematically. It's just like an experienced engineer would. What's even more interesting is the self-correction capability. When it makes a mistake, it can identify the error through self-review, explain why this mistake occurred, provide a corrected solution, and then learn from that experience for future similar problems. This is why it matters for the future of software development. Making AI development available to everyone. With these low-cost barriers, we'll be able to see more innovation from smaller teams and individual developers. Let me know in the comments below what aspects of DeepSeek R1 you're going to build with. And of course, we're going to get better development tools. The ability to run these sophisticated AI locally could revolutionize how we write and debug code. This will also provide us more efficient resources. With DeepSeek, it shows us that just throwing more computing power at a problem isn't the answer. This could completely change how we approach both AI development and software engineering in general. It shows us that sometimes smarter engineering beats brute force computing power. DeepSeek R1 isn't just another AI model, it's proof that we might need to rethink our entire approach to AI development. Now, it shows with clever engineering and an efficient resource use, you can actually achieve remarkable results without massive infrastructure investments. Now, if you want to stay up to date on how technology like this is reshaping our engineering landscape, hit that subscribe button below. Otherwise, what are you going to build with DeepSeek?